I just want men to be men. Can you come in a beautifully tailored suit? I would love to see that. Quite frankly, I would love to see men in suits again. Make that great again, you know? I would love to see men in hats and suits like the 1940s, walking around like they had some dignity and respect instead of sagging their pants and looking like big fat losers without jobs. I need to see a man who does not love his sweats like he loves his mom. I need you to put something else on, okay? But I do not need you to raid a girl's closet and put on a halter top with this weird tie. Can we talk real quick about how I need men to stop wearing women's clothes? Here's Alexander Skarsgård, and I don't understand why he's wearing this outfit. Of course, InStyle's tripping over themselves to compliment this. Those people over there, I mean, sometimes I'm like, is this satire? I don't know. You guys can't think this looks good. This looks so bad. I do not want to see a man in a halter top. I do not. It's not sexy. It's not cute. I hate it. And I just want men to be men. Can you come in a beautifully tailored suit? I would love to see that. Quite frankly, I would love to see men in suits again. Make that great again, you know? I would love to see men in hats and suits like the 1940s, walking around like they had some dignity and respect instead of sagging their pants and looking like big fat losers without jobs. I need to see a man who does not love his sweats like he loves his mom. I need you to put something else on. Okay? But I do not need you to raid a girl's closet and put on a halter top with this weird tie. Quite frankly, this looks like something out of a bargain bin at the Spirit of Halloween. Doesn't it have like Velcro ripoff vibes? It's chintzy. It looks cheap. There's something like wrinkly and weird about this. I hate all of it. And I just mostly hate the fact that men are showing up wearing women's clothes. Big weird vibes is what it is. It's big weird vibes. I don't want it. No woman wants this. And I don't understand what this trend is where men in Hollywood have to at some point really play with the boundaries and wear women's clothes. You're not playing with the boundaries. You just look like a weirdo. Wear men's clothes. Pure and simple. I'll tell you what I can't. I don't want to see a man with a beard in women's clothing. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. But that's so hateful, Cheer. Everyone can express themselves the way they want. They can't. If you're a man, I need you to wear men's clothes. I think the thing that's crazy to me is how often we're being told that it's like, no, this is a straight man who's choosing this outfit. I don't know if you are straight if you're choosing to wear women's clothes. I think you can retire the straight label if you ever show up anywhere in a dress. Come to me and tell me you're straight and you're wearing this. I'm over it. And it's like this increasing trend where we're having to see men, rugged, good-looking men with this. And I'll tell you something else. Men, don't touch fillers. Okay, what is happening to men's faces? I ask you. Nothing's going to shut me down like a cartoon anvil just hit me in the head. If I see a rugged man turn his face into the face of a baby because he thought that it would be a great idea to get cheek fillers. Absolutely not. Everybody liked Ryan Gosling. You know, there was something just naturally attractive about him. And then he got crazy and now this is his face. Why did you do that? I also have to say, we're going in the opposite direction with individuals like Ryan Seacrest. Why did you get on Ozempic? You look like somebody just animated your corpse right up out of the coffin. This is terrible. It's not Halloween yet. You know, and I just don't understand why people are going for this. By the way, what happened to everybody on American Idol? We've got Ryan Seacrest and we got Randy over here. What happened to his face? We've talked about Simon Cowell and the meat suit he apparently is living in. Is that even him? You know, what is wrong with these people? Okay? But it's this constant need to manipulate our features, this constant need to not be who we are, this constant fear of aging. Meanwhile, by the way, let me just say that we have new pictures of Chris's work that was done on her face. You'll recall from many weeks past, we've had lots of conversations about Kris Kardashian's face and how she'd spent a lot of money to look like Kim, quite frankly, and she had this beautiful velvety new skin. It's like, did she get a face transplant? Or was it a facelift? Like, I don't understand how she's got the skin of a 30-year-old. At the time, I believed that Kris was over there potentially using a filter too, but you'd see her in other conversations, in other interviews, and she still looked just as good as she did in her still photos. So I was inclined to believe that what I was looking at was the reality of her new facelift. But recent pictures came out over this week where that facelift has settled. Okay? She looks let me just say this. She looks fabulous for the age that she is. She looks like somebody who has been very careful with her skin all of her life. She looks like a person who maybe had gotten a little Botox over the years, had a great skincare routine, drank a lot of water, maybe had just a few little nips or tucks there. Okay, but this doesn't look like somebody who has spent $300,000 on a new face. And this is settling in a way that just, to me, seems like it was a great big waste of her time and her money. But she's still, on her own accounts and in pictures that she's putting it out and in video clips she's putting out, she's letting you believe that what you're looking at, this filtered picture, this perfect lighting, this exquisite makeup, is her reality, which also then makes it your reality. But it isn't. This is a person who, under realistic lighting, looks pretty good for her age, but she doesn't look like she wants you to believe she looks like in real life. And I have a problem with a person who is fine letting the world feel like they aren't enough because they're so busy showing you a fake version of reality. She knows what she's doing, and she knows the destruction that is to millions of women who think, I'm not enough. Now, at a certain point, you have to own the way you feel about yourself. At a certain point, you have to be like, okay, I can't afford $300,000 on my face, and that's totally okay. At a certain point, when you lift your eyebrows and you see these lines, it just can't ruin your day. You know, and if you're going through your whole life feeling like, I feel so bad, I feel less than, I feel intimidated because they look so young, and I'm feeling like I won't be able to manage that as I get older to maintain that face that they seem to have maintained. If you let that ruin your life, at a certain point, that's on you. That's not on Chris, even if she wants to put out her little fake pictures. But if you know you're susceptible to feeling bad, you've got to decide what you are and are not going to tune into. But I guess my whole point is, she looks great for her age, but not so great that you ought to feel bad. Not so great that you need to be putting money aside for the potential facelift that you think you're going to need. You don't need it. And I guess I just feel like these pictures are really important, because I'm not making fun of Chris or being like, she's an old hag now, isn't she? She's not a hag. She looks great for her age, but she doesn't look as good as she wants you to think she does. And that's my problem with the whole thing. We're being sold a fake bill of goods, and then we're wringing our hands and feeling bad that we can't keep up. But the thing is, there's actually nothing to keep up with. They spent $300,000 to look like they didn't have anything done. Because I think that she pretty much looks the same as she did before. And that's the truth of it.